never shake 'em.
Let's talk about the intro video.
Badass intro, huh?
That intro is hardcore.
Yeah. But in this future episodes, it's going to get hardcore.
Right.
But I think we got to ease into it here, at least to kind of introduce what's going on here.
Nah.
Yeah, you're right. We'll probably get into some crazy stuff. But on the Unshackled Podcast here, I'm Austin.
Kyle.
We have Kyle here, and we have Noy as our producer.
Yo.
He's over there running the old switchboard and Googling stuff as we need, because I'm sure we're going to go off on tangents that we need to be checked on. And never been wrong before, so it'll be kind of interesting to see if I'm wrong.
There we go.
So I think our main focus here is to kind of go over a lot of political opinions, a lot of conspiracy theories, come with some sort of evidence, some sort of previous knowledge that we might have on it. And something that's pretty important to us is trying to be America first as much as possible. It's kind of our interest.
Yeah, so I'd say I'm a pretty hardcore conspiracy theorist. You're more mild,
Conservative.
You got a toe in the water. I'm in the deep end.
Yeah, I'm definitely more conservative on the shallow end, and you're definitely over there swimming in waters that
Uncharted.
you don't know how deep they are, but you're going to figure it out.
Uncharted.
You're going to find out how deep they are. Yeah, so we're just going to kind of go over some of the current events, kind of give our opinions on some of the stuff going on. And like I said, I'm sure that's going to lead into other sorts of crazy stuff. And while we're doing that, we're going to enjoy some local beverages. Like we said, we try to support America, and more importantly to us, as far as what's on set, we try to support local companies. So I have a blueberry lemonade shandy from Saugatuck Brewing Company. Me and Noy
That's
both
the
got
Saugatuck
of
one?
those. Yeah, Saugatuck
Heck yeah.
Brewing Company. So they're based out of West Michigan, Southwest Michigan, which is where we're allegedly located or out of. And which one do you have?
I'm rocking the El Dorado from Grand Armory.
Which is Grand Haven.
That's Grand Haven.
Yeah, so it's also Southwest.
Very local, actually.
Yeah, so it's both of these. We'll probably continue to do that. Just stay away from, your run-of-the-mill, Anheuser-Busch, Miller Coors, that sort of thing. Right. Enjoy stuff that's all local and try to support our local community. Just something that I'm going to push for a lot. I'm sure I'm going to keep touching base on that, because we're going to go into a bunch of stuff about domestic policy, and then more of a macro domestic policy.
Right.
And I'm going to be probably focusing more on the micro side of that.
Yeah, so part of the goal of this is I'm gonna say things that might seem crazy, and Austin's gonna work through it probably like a lot of you would, thinking, what's the alternative, what's more likely, kind of deal. So I mean, something we've talked about lately is the America First.
Right.
I think
we're both pretty pro that.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of my concern for, the power of the government comes from, is infringement on what America First is. And I think, we talked earlier about, and we both voted for Trump.
Right. Allegedly.
And I know you're more, you're still, what would you call it, optimistic?
I guess in a way I try to be more optimistic in my outlook. But I don't say I necessarily voted for Trump because, it's Republican over everything. For one, I only vote for winners. So okay. So I don't lose election votes.
Yeah, he beat 2 girls, which, no offense, but
yeah,
I lost to Biden.
Yeah, and I abstained my vote in 2020.
You think that election was rigged? The Biden one, 2020?
81 million's a lot. 81 million is a lot.
You think it was mail-in voting?
Well, it was 2020, right? Well, no, because it would have been fall of 2019, so it wasn't really COVID yet. It was kind of just starting, right?
Yeah, it was definitely COVID, though. I mean, it was going. Because Trump was the one that pushed for all, the masks to be made by companies, and he was fighting COVID towards the end of it.
Yeah, I guess he was.
Yeah.
I think that it is... I think it's weird.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it there. I think it's weird.
It's also weird that Trump still talks about it. Like yesterday, 2 days ago, he was complaining about how the election was rigged.
Yeah, actually, he'll bring it up, and I think I have a video ready that we can listen to later on about that. No, can you pull up voting numbers per election or voting numbers by election? By election, yeah, there we go. Then, yeah, click the top one. See what we can find on this link here. See if we can fly by the seat of our pants here and find it. Okay, perfect. Go down. I don't care about those ones. So 2024, there were, was it 154 million? Is that how many people voted? I wish it would tell us. Turnout,
yeah.
Yeah. So 154 million turnout on that one. And then it was 158 in 2020. So there's 4 million more people. I guess it isn't. I mean, it's a huge jump.
That crazy.
Yeah. No, it was a crazy jump from 2016 to 2020, though.
But if they did cheat it, 4 million's a big number to sneak in.
Yeah. You know, how many of them are proven? There were people that voted in Michigan, and then when you look at their address, it was to an abandoned factory, and it's like, okay, how does that work? But
yeah. It is wild how much he talks about that, though, and how much he talks about how things would have been different. And I don't disagree. Gas prices are lower.
They are, but once again, is that summer to winter change that happens every year?
It wasn't this low last year.
Yeah, but it does drop when you switch from winter to summer to winter, because they have to get rid of that summer blend and the winter blend of fuels. So we'll see if it holds up. I mean, grocery prices certainly don't seem to have gone down as much as he claims that they have, at least not in my experience. So that's a pain in the ass, but
right.
It is what it is.
So, assuming everything was legit,
mm-hmm.
He is still butthurt about it. But
I think it's his ego.
Yeah, I mean the ego thing. But it's like it's crazy that what was it like 2 months ago? He was saying the Epstein file. Epstein? It's like he knew that he was going to take a shot to the ego, a shot to his career with that.
Yeah, I mean they've been going after him for years with that.
Like all of a sudden he wants to ignore it, and now they open an investigation right before Congress and the Senate vote to release everything.
They released 300,000 new documents and photos. 300,000.
But they said they released everything last time besides.
Well, they said they released everything that they were legally allowed to.
Which isn't true now, right? We know that.
Well, I mean, it was ordered by law, signed by the president to release all of it. So anything that would have been held up is no longer held up.
No, it's still held up. The videos.
No, I'm speaking in reference to the. Well, they're never going to release the child porn.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're not releasing everything.
Right, but the 300,000 documents would have been tied up in some sort of litigation saying they're not allowed to release them, and then Congress and the president said no, release them. Right.
So in what's been released, there is conversations between Ehud Barak, which is he's a Mossad agent from Israel, and Epstein.
Right.
I think he spent like 3 weeks at a time at Epstein's place. And I don't know if we want to pull that up, Noy, while we're talking about it, but there was talks about how their relationship needs to get a lot closer. He wants Ehud to understand him and know him better before he gets him in on some deals on getting cyber weapons for his country. So all these, crazy conspiracy theories about Epstein being an agent for Israel, there it is.
Yeah, they always say the difference between a conspiracy and the truth is about 3 months.
Well, and that's the thing. Let's start from the basics. What is a conspiracy? No, I pull that definition up. Definition of a conspiracy. People have the idea that a conspiracy is something that may or may not be true. That's what a lot of people, like I ask them, and they'll say something that may or may not be true.
Yeah, has a different definition than that.
So a conspiracy is a secret plan or agreement between two or more people to do something harmful, illegal, or against someone's wishes, often involving a hidden plot like fraud, treason, corruption, with a goal to achieve something unlawful or to deceive others. That happens every day.
Right. So I guess they would use the term conspiracy theorist because you're theorizing that would have taken place, that there's something outside of what is being published. And that term conspiracy theorists, I don't believe existed until after JFK.
Yep, the CIA actually started pumping that as a way to demean people thinking.
Yeah, they're just a conspiracy theorist.
Right. So they created a label and then tried to, demonstratize a label that people have for asking questions that are valid.
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what they're doing to Candace Owens right now.
Yeah, it's a psyop for sure.
And she's just getting berated. But the sad part is that there's such a cult following on both sides that as soon as somebody that is of power or influence on one side speaks out against somebody, like there's just a blind attack on those people. And it happens all the time. It happened to Trump, happened to Biden, happened to everybody. So it's like, it sucks because we're in one of those, there's been about 4 or 5 points in American history where there's been a really big division between the right and the left.
Right.
And we're just in one of them. So it happened early on in the country. It happened in the 1830s, and then again in like the 1850s and 60s, and then in the 1930s, and then the 1960s, and now in the 2020s, there's just this giant division. So it's like we're in another part of this. So everybody asks that question. It goes, have we ever been this divisive? It's like we had a civil war.
Right.
Like, what kind of question is that? Have we ever been that against one another? We've literally fought each other and had the bloodiest war in the history of our country against each other.
Right. So I'm gonna show my ignorance here, but was the Civil War was it solely about slavery, the abolishment of slavery?
That's what they tell you in the history books.
So I mean that's different. Like there's no big thing that people are being harmed. Like half the population isn't being harmed by something, right?
No. So
they didn't pay the money. I'm going to say something that sounds crazy, but the people that had just bought slaves, I'm assuming they were expensive, right?
Right.
So that, compare that to buying whatever that's expensive, and you did it as a business purchase, and all of a sudden the government makes you get rid of it, and they didn't refund you.
Yeah, it's like you.
So that's why they were angry. It was financially.
If a farmer buys a John Deere tractor and then they outlaw John Deere tractors, like, well, do I get my money back? And they're like, no.
Right. So I mean that's crazy town financially they should have compensated and done what's right for everybody, right? Obviously the abolishment of slavery was the right move, but how they went about it I think was very anti-South.
Yeah. That's another funny point that I hear brought up where it's like, when is the last time you've seen that level of division or insurrection after a presidential election? It's like after Abe Lincoln was elected, the country literally split in half. So it's like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And I don't think there was 274 FBI agents in the crowd there when they did that.
So what do you think it is now that's driving everybody apart? It's not slavery.
What do I think is the root cause of it? The biggest root cause, because there's many. Operation Mockingbird.
Dude, you're going down the rabbit hole, huh?
It's not much of a rabbit hole. It's all released. It's all they admitted that they did. I think it's just still going on. Yeah. And it's even worse now with social media. So it's like, what do you do?
Well, there was an interview with that John Kiriakou.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how when he, I think he left the CIA. He went to prison, right? He was the one that
23 months.
Right. So he's the one that kind of broke the news about all the torture we were doing, and got charged with espionage as a spy, which is a lot of people don't understand that if you're in the CIA as an officer, at any moment they can charge you with espionage.
And they have to have insurance to protect themselves.
Yeah, but the insurance, come on.
Yeah,
he probably had the insurance and he still went to prison.
Well, I think his charges got reduced. It was originally 3 charges of espionage.
Yeah.
Which would have been potentially the death sentence.
Yeah. So that's just so everyone understands the level of blackmail on every officer in the CIA. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're essentially threatened with prison at all times.
Yeah. Right.
So the reason a lot of these people are doing what they're doing, and I'm assuming there's thousands.
And there's not as many whistleblowers as you think there would be.
Because it's not worth the risk.
Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go to prison for 2 years minimum.
Like most people have never felt the level of that level of power over you, where it's like you're going to prison if you tell the truth.
Right.
So I understand it. I don't hold anything against all the CIA agents that aren't, or officers that aren't saying anything. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, my point with the John Carrico was once he kind of got back into things, he got out of prison, he took some non-government jobs, right? So he was doing some intelligence work, and he just had to write some propaganda. So I think he made like $20,000 an article, but he was just making fake news. And that's a guy that's not even working for the CIA.
Right.
That's just what intelligence agents do. They manipulate intelligence.
And they just have unlimited money.
Yeah, well, yeah, the CIA, we don't get to know what their full budget is.
Yeah, it's hidden within another budget, but that budget might not even be a real number.
Well, and then there's, they'll confiscate a bunch of Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
With what they're doing, obviously a lot of criminals are using Bitcoin to kind of hide transactions. And once they can confiscate it and get those wallets, they use that as their, you know what I mean? So who knows how many Bitcoins are being spent by the CIA.
Right.
But I guess my whole theory behind the CIA as a whole is that they've gone full rogue. Like you're saying, Operation Mockingbird, which was, I think it started after JFK. He had that speech about this monolithic conspiracy, and the biggest attack on U.S. citizens is the typewriter, or the press.
Yeah, printing press. The
printing press. It's like, I think what he meant there is that the truth and lies can spread so fast, and we won't know what's real anymore.
Yeah, what they say, like 90% of the news is made up, or controlled by the CIA in some sort of way. So it's like only 10% of it is potentially truth, and there's no way of knowing what 10% of it isn't manipulated by that.
I pull this up while I'm talking about it. There's a Denzel Washington on YouTube. Yeah, he's taking this interview, and I love Denzel, by the way. And he's talking about and the news. Type in the news, being informed by the news. Information, maybe. Yeah, anyway, if we can find it here. Oh, there it is right there. Yeah, type that one.
Let's watch this.
Yeah, watch this.
Oh, maybe. It is not loading up properly, it doesn't look like. I don't even hear it. Can you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
We got no audio.
Back out of it. So while we try to get that loaded up here, we'll...
I mean, I remember what he says here.
Click on that short, that one on the far left there. That probably is what we're looking for.
Yeah, if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read the newspaper, you're misinformed. That's a wise man. I want to know how he knows that that's true.
Yeah.
Because he's probably seen it firsthand. If you're a powerful figure, why would they not use you? Because that's what the CIA, they don't create, tools. They just they grab them wherever they are. If you're a really good artist, they'll grab you.
Well, the most valuable asset they have is celebrities.
Right. So it's like that's why it's so much less crazy than people think about this kid that took that shot at Trump from that rooftop. It's like people think it would be insane that he was, manipulated into doing that by some intelligence group. It's like that's what they look for. They don't create those people. They find them and then they adjust as needed to make them actually do the thing.
I'm sure it's just the internet they're annoying, so I wouldn't even sweat it too bad. I think get back into the main point where we started there. I think it is Operation Mockingbird, and it works because of all these. I'll remain PG. I'll let you be that guy, and I'll be me, right? But it's all these boomers on Facebook and on TikTok and on internet, and it's like, if you can't tell me that video's AI,
right?
It should be like how I think, like people over the age of 70, every 3 to 5 years they should have to take a driving test.
Right.
Right. I think that you should have to take an internet test to be allowed to use it. Now, obviously, I'm being over the top, and I'm obviously just joking most of the way.
You're saying because they're easily manipulated?
They're so easily manipulated.
Right.
Because I have grandparents on both sides, the right and the left, that will believe anything that they're told.
Yeah.
And I remember one of them who was left-leaning. I was like, why? Like, you need to stop watching CNN.
Right.
Like, no, I watch MSNBC. I'm like, that's not better.
Right.
It's like, don't watch any mainstream news. They're all lying to you. Every single one of them.
But that's so hard for people to stomach, man. It's hard for me to stomach. It's like what he just says there. If you read the newspaper, you take the time out of your day to find out what's going on, you're being lied to.
Yeah.
If you don't put the effort in, then you have no idea what's going on.
Right.
So it's like, what's the course of action to get through this? What's your take on what we should do?
I think becoming a more well-informed country on what's going on is going to be vital.
Well, I'm asking how to do that.
It's tough because you just have to. People need to be open to having discussion and dialogue, and so many people aren't.
Yeah, I think if everybody just talked, but the biggest threat against that is the labels.
Yeah.
People don't want to open their mouth because it's like, ooh, what if they slap a label on me?
Oh, what if they call me a Nazi?
Yeah, right. I'm a Nazi. I'm racist. I'm whatever for just talking about what I'm thinking.
Yeah, and then if you are a minority group, right, and then you speak out against it, oh, you're an Uncle Tom.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
So you can't even win on either side.
Well, like Candace Owens again. It's like
Yeah,
during the BLM, she was calling out the fact that it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing, and they said she hates black people.
Yeah.
And when this aired, I've never heard of Candace Owens at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard say, oh, this lady is calling out BLM. That's kind of crazy because I had a feeling, right, that maybe it wasn't a good organization. And I pull it up, and I'm like, this lady is black. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who Candace Owens is, this is a black lady, and they're saying that she hates black people.
Yeah.
But they never really showed a photo of her. Like when I was doing it, I was like, oh, this must be a crazy racist lady. She's black.
Yeah.
It's insane. Like that's just so crazy to me.
It is wild. And it's.
Can you still say black? Is that fine?
Yeah. Of course it is. I think.
That's always the one I've liked to say the best. I don't like saying color. Like, people used to say colored. That's so weird. Rude, colored is weird, right?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. No, if I called you colored, would you be insulted?
No. What?
No?
Why would
I don't know. That just seems weird.
Well, if I were to call you, okay, it's different though, because you're not going to call a Hispanic person brown, right?
Like black people are brown.
What's more offensive, Noy? If I were to call you colored, or if I called
pink.
you Puerto Rican, which one's more offensive?
Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Figured.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know.
It's weird because he's Guatemalan, so he gets really offended by it. Is that true?
I'm not Guatemalan.
Okay. Don't dox yourself over there. No, don't tell him where you're from. I'm gonna say what's an obscure Hispanic that he could be, but it's got to be a dark skinned Hispanic because he's not like Chilean because they're all white people.
Chilean.
No, Chileans all white people.
Is it?
Yeah,
they're old Germans now, aren't they?
That in Argentina, but they're just southern. They're like by the South Pole, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
So they don't need the pigment. I'm gonna call you. How about that?
How far away is Chile from the equator? They're not that far south.
What are you talking about? Chile? Oh, it's a long country, so there's gonna be a portion of it that's by it.
I see what you're saying.
Go to let's go to the maps.
They are kind of white looking.
See where Chile is. Or no, go to Google Maps. Go up top, just to the search. No, the URL tab. Okay, just do that. We doxed ourselves.
While we're doing this,
Scroll down. Let's go down to Chile. And how keep going. Where are you going? Do you even know where Chile is?
I don't even know if I know.
So it goes up to Bolivia, all the way up to Peru, but it goes all the way down to the very bottom.
Now zoom all the way out, Noy. Let's see.
Look how long Chile is. All the way to the South Pole.
Oh shit! I didn't know it went all the way down there.
Yeah. So it's the most southern country in South America. So, but it's obviously there's people up there by Peru, so it'll be a little different.
Right.
So get back to my normal thing here. I'm gonna say that Noy you're Ecuadorian, dude. That's what we're gonna have people believe.
Dude, he looks Aztec.
He does look Aztec though.
Which are that's kind of badass actually. Dude, so I'm gonna say something. I think the reason whites and blacks don't get along was part of Operation Mockingbird.
Oh yeah. They wanted us to be divisive. They wanted us to be separated.
And I do think there was a full-blown attack against black people, probably in, I don't even know how many different times, dude, forever.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Dude, LBJ was huge.
LBJ was, yeah, he's a terrible human being. If you want to go over
That's when it all started. Yeah,
you want to talk about the
LBJ
worst
was the start.
presidents in history? My number one is LBJ. And they're going to say, well, the civil rights movement. It's like that was going on with JFK.
Right.
And then he passed the thing that he called the N-word bill.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he's the one that said, I'm going to have these voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
That's not true.
Look it up. LBJ.
That's true?
Yeah, LBJ.
Dude, he's the one that...
Black people voting Democrat.
There's no way.
For the next 200 years.
He really did it, huh?
All right. That's just going to talk about the Civil Rights Act.
That's so crazy.
AI's
We're
compromised.
trying to trust an AI here. I'll have those ends voting Democratic for the next 200 years.
Yeah. LBJ.
Holy shit.
Oh, but he did the Civil Rights Act. No, fuck that guy. The worst president in history.
I didn't know that. You know why I hate Lyndon Johnson?
Because he's a CIA operative that got put in power.
Oh yeah, I mean that part for sure. How did JFK not know?
He might have been compromised after the election.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, they let JFK pick his guy, and then they manipulated whoever he was going to pick.
'Cause he was president during that attack on the USS Liberty.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first trigger that I was like, okay, this guy's a fucking chode bag.
Yeah, we don't want to embarrass our friends in Israel.
That was a quote. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. To hell with that guy.
So he was the start of the modern problem, and I think it's because there's a interview with a guy named Yuri Bezmenov back in the 80s, and he talks about the KGB's plan to destabilize countries, to basically overthrow them, and it's planting basically a mind virus.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, once it's in place, the truth won't matter anymore. That's a quote from what he says. The truth, he's like, until you pull the bananas from your ears, the truth will go right past you and no one will see it because they're so caught up in all this bullshit that's created.
Yep.
And he said there's a 20 to 30 year plan of implementing that in the U.S. He said that in the 80s.
Yep. Working.
And here we are.
It's working. Weird. Yeah, that's why I get so irritated with people on both sides. Is like, if you blindly follow a party just to follow a party because you're part of that group,
right?
You're an idiot.
So here we go.
Or you at least manipulate it. How about that?
So I'm gonna pull the rabbit out of the hat here.
Okay.
The genie's out of the bottle.
You ready, Noy? Get them typing fingers ready.
Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So, I mean, we all know the history of Israel. Maybe we don't. You want to walk through the history of when Israel was founded and why?
Want me to
how,
go over my understanding of how Israel was created?
Let's do your understanding, and then I'll theorize.
Okay. On day 8, God created Israel. No. So
well, yeah, I guess old school Israel.
So the modern Israel, the land was owned prior to World War II by the Brits. The Brits had agreed to give the land back to the Palestinians, as they would concede power to the area and give it back to them.
They lived there. They were already there. It just
right, but they said we're not gonna have claim to this land anymore. We're gonna give it back to the people. And then after World War II and the Holocaust happened, then everybody, including England, felt bad for the Jews because of what happened in the Holocaust. Maybe rightfully so, but I think the wrong move they did was renege the negotiation that they had with Palestine and the Palestinian people, and then they gave the land to Israel.
Right.
So then in 1948, May 14th, it says right there, Israel became its own independent nation. And then after that, believe it or not, Noy, they did nothing wrong ever since then. They've been perfect. They haven't tried to invade any more land. They haven't tried to sink any American ships to try to get us into war with Egypt. They haven't done any of that stuff, actually. They've been perfect.
That's the mainstream take, right?
That's what CNN tells you. Fox, maybe.
So my take is in the 1910s.
Right. So you're talking about Ben Gurion?
Right. In the
Ben
1910s,
times?
There was a guy named David Ben Gurion, and he was already settling in Palestine, and he was the first Zionist, right? He started the whole Zionist movement.
Right.
He was in, I mean, he traveled everywhere. He was in Germany, he was in New York, he was everywhere trying to get funding and everything else set up, trying to rally the Jews to move to Israel. And I heard an interview from this guy, I think he was in the 50s or 60s. I don't know what year he died, but he has a thick Russian accent.
Allegedly.
No, it's a thick Russian accent.
It's at least Slavic.
Very thick Slavic, which isn't crazy. There's a lot of
It's not crazy because he
Jews.
was born in Poland, so he's gonna have a Polish accent, which was Slavic influenced to a degree, depending on which region of Poland you were in.
So what is the difference between Yiddish and Russian? Because they say he spoke Yiddish, and I could be way off here, but the fact that he sounds full-blown Russian, I think that the ties between what was going on in Germany during World War II and the Russians, the communications between Hitler and who was the leader of...
What?
I'm blanking on the leader of Russia
Stalin?
at the time. Stalin, Joseph Stalin. The communications of, they agreed, the Russians agreed to allow Germany to take Poland and they'd have their back if England tried anything.
But that was
that
only
true?
because Hitler promised Stalin that they would split the land of Poland.
Right.
Germany's going to take over Poland, and then we will split the land of Poland.
So what went wrong there?
Hitler invaded the USSR.
I'm saying what happened in Poland.
Oh,
it started
they
then,
took it in
right?
3 days. They took over Poland.
The Russians weren't pissed about something.
No, they got pissed once Hitler was like, okay, and then they invaded the USSR.
What do you think happened there?
Hitler was confident that by how dominantly they took Poland within like 72 hours, he thought that it was going to be a cakewalk, and they almost got Russia. Like, it was close than people think.
Right, they backed into the cold and their diesel engines and all that story.
Well, actually, it was the Battle of Stalingrad.
Right.
If they won Stalingrad, like there's no telling where that war goes after that.
Right.
So no, it was Hitler taking over or invading the USSR.
I'm not 100% on my World War II history.
Battle of Stalingrad.
I just know that there's always diaries that come out.
That is the most important battle in all of World War II, by the way. Anyone
Right.
can argue with me, but they can be wrong. I don't care. There is not a single battle that is more important to the outcome of that war than the Battle of Stalingrad.
Around 2 million casualties.
Yep.
Holy crap! I did not know it was that many.
Yeah, more than double the entire Civil War.
Good God.
United States Civil War, obviously. We're talking international here now.
Yeah, there's bits and pieces of World War II that I know and that are just horrifying. Like the carpet bombings of, was it Dresden by England?
Oh, yeah.
Churchill. In the middle of the night. There's a guy named David Irving that I've listened to a couple of his videos, and he is the most controversial man on the internet. I mean, he's been sued probably 100 times.
Yeah.
He went from being a multi-millionaire author to broke to back to, I mean, he's been all over the place because of lawsuits. But he's done more work into finding out the truth of what was going on in Germany and England at the time. I mean, he's interviewed everyone's family that were Nazis. Mm-hmm. He went in there just full bore and found out everything. He got their diaries. He bought Churchill's diary from France's leader's widow after the leader died. He went and bought it from her and read this, and there's so much about Churchill in there. It'd blow your mind. And then, I mean, some of the officers from England as well. Yeah. I guess, I mean, their takes on it, the guys that worked alongside Churchill, their takes on him were that he was a drunk and he made no sense.
Yeah, he was just he's a pawn that they used to, because the country did rally behind him because the country loved him.
Right.
They still love him.
Well, they didn't know he was lying about everything.
Right. So they used him to be as like the more like the face of the thing. No, I got a question for you here because we're talking about World War II, and I love World War II.
I think that's the real start of modern day.
No, do you think that
that's where we start?
If I were to tell you that the fire bombings in Tokyo that took place killed way more people than both of the nuclear bombs going off combined, would that number surprise you? If it was even one more person that died in the bombings of Tokyo versus both atomic bombs combined?
Yeah, I think it would.
So look up how many people died from the nuclear bombs
Probably
in Japan.
30,000.
In Japan.
Yeah, from the nukes in Japan.
What's your guess? Do you know?
I can't remember it off the top of my head. So
I'm guessing 30 grand.
Let's go to the high number there. 240,000 people died
Oh.
from the 2 nukes, right? So look up how many people died from the fire bombings of Tokyo, Japan.
Dude, that's like 10 times more than I would have thought.
330,000 people died. So over 100,000 more people died in Tokyo from the fire bombings. And that's assuming the high numbers are accurate from the nukes. And
not even the number, but how they died. Imagine dying. So I do know a little bit about these fire bombings. There was so much. Was it napalm?
Yeah, it was a napalm-esque thing. So
there was so much of it that it sucked the oxygen completely out of cities and everyone suffocated.
Yep.
That's how big these fires were.
Yep. Entire city. And actually, did you know that the original target for the Hiroshima bomb was Kyoto?
Makes sense.
But then they decided that Kyoto was too populated with civilians per military installation, that it wasn't right to do it, and also that it was kind of their cultural center for the country. So they switched to Hiroshima.
Right.
And then there was another target for Nagasaki. But there was so much overcast over where they were going to bomb, they couldn't locate it. So they pivoted to their second choice, which was Nagasaki.
That's crazy because back then they didn't have the tech we have. So a lot of the there were talks in these diaries about why Germany sent what was their Luftwaffen or whatever they called their Air Force, the Luftwaffe, to certain places because they were on fire already. So they
came out a little too good, honestly. My German heritage is. Yeah, I didn't mean that, dude.
You need to apologize.
Bad.
Apologize to every Jew out there.
I'm sorry that my ancestors came from Germany.
That you can speak clearly,
Yeah.
or else you're a Nazi.
I was also surprised to find out that Japan actually had a couple of attacks, in Oregon.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of bombs they shot from submarines at Oregon during World War II. Very surprising.
So there's a theory that I've not completely debunked yet about the fact that nuclear bombs were never used in Japan.
Oh, you mean to tell me that Nagasaki and Hiroshima were attacked because they had harbors that we could put a bunch of TNT in a harbor and blow it up and make it look like a nuke? Never heard of that theory.
You have, huh?
Never heard of that theory.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it?
How
hard is that? Why they didn't do Kyoto? Is Kyoto on the water?
No.
I can't even picture
Kyoto is
that.
dead center of the country.
So, all right. So they wanted Kyoto, but they couldn't get there.
Right.
Overcast. I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah, me either.
Because the reason I was saying
dive.
that the Luftwaffe attacked cities was because they were already on fire from previous bombings, so they could use that as reference point in the middle of the night. Because they were doing this at 1 a.m. They're flying. But the crazy part in these diaries, I'll go on a little tangent real quick. We'll bring it back. In these diaries,
it's actually the city I want to go to.
In Churchill's, it is dead center, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
He had.
It's like my dream vacation right there.
They were basically deciphering communications from Germany. So, and Germany didn't know they were doing it. So Churchill had intel on everything that was happening, where their airstrikes were headed, how many planes were coming, what they had on board. He had everything. And so every time he got that intel, he never told anybody, but him and his buddies would go to a different city.
That's because they had the Enigma code figured out.
Yeah.
So that's also.
But he kept lying. And then one time, God, I can't remember where he was now. In one of the cities there, he found out that they changed course and they're going somewhere else. So then he stayed and he made this whole speech about how I'm standing here. They can give us hell. We'll take it as a city, as a nation, knowing that they were going somewhere else. So he knew that he was safe there.
That also
total fraud.
It was also true with U-boat attacks.
Mm-hmm.
They knew where they were going.
Yeah.
And the problem was that they couldn't avoid all of them because they knew if they avoided all of them that they would then know that they had the Enigma code. So Germany would catch on. So they sent crews out there knowing that they were going to die because they knew that they couldn't just counter everything because Germany would catch on.
So this Enigma code, what does that even mean?
So the Enigma code machine, there's a machine made to decipher it, but essentially it was
A big computer, right? They were
right.
doing
So
the thing.
to give it like a really like basic example would be like it's a bunch of random letters, but each letter means a different
It
letter.
was a cipher, right?
So
Yeah.
it was just a cipher code, and that's how they would communicate with each other, and they all had the same machine to be able to decipher the code. So they had their whatever. So they actually hired a scientist to back engineer it, an
Reverse
engineer.
engineer it, yeah.
And then he was able to figure it out. And ever since, that's the reason that Germany fell so fast. I think it was like 2 years after the Enigma code was broken that Germany fell.
Imagine they didn't do that.
It would have been, I bet you the war would have went in maybe even to the 50s.
So I'm going to say a couple things about Hitler. I know you can't say the word, you can't say the name, the swastika's banned, everything's gone. And I agree that what happened there was horrible.
Right.
But we definitely exaggerated some stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's some things I found out about this guy that I'm like, wait, what? Like he was so in love with animals that I think he was the first person ever to ban testing on animals.
Yeah.
And like,
I know he loved his dogs. He had a couple German Shepherds that were like his life.
right. But like the idea I had of
died with
Hitler
him inside of the bunker, if you believe he died there.
right. That the idea I had of Hitler coming out of high school was that this guy was a total demon. He's just horrible. Everything about him was horrible. But I think having that take on it is the wrong thing, because it's like nobody's
accurate.
like that. Nobody's 100% evil. I don't think. Like there's always something. It's like if I were to justify, I'm not going to justify it, but if I were to try to understand Hitler,
This Google search history is going crazy right now.
yeah, don't do that. We're on the list.
I mean, he's not even like statistically numbers. He's not as bad as Joseph Stalin. He's not as bad as Mao. He's not as bad as Genghis Khan. He's not even as bad as Tojo was, right? But he's the one that's like the famous one, right? It's kind of like Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer didn't kill the most people.
But listen to this though. It's like, what did he do? Like everyone blames him because he was the leader at the time, right? I get that.
I don't even think he knew a lot of what was going on.
But it's like there's evidence that Churchill was a total pussy. And I know people in England are going to be pissed if they ever see this, but it's like your guy wasn't who you thought he was.
Right.
He was a phony, he was a fraud, he was an alcoholic, and someone else was telling him what to do.
Right.
That's the truth. Hitler was uninformed.
Hey, we had alcoholics too.
Yeah, I'm not downplaying that. I'm not saying ours are any better.
I think it was James Buchanan.
Yeah.
Like he was known for being able to drink multiple bottles of liquor without even showing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not. God, this is a tough one because it's like you can't slip up at all, huh? I don't think
You're right. You walked that tightrope, dude.
I'm going right on this
I'll
tightrope.
watch you.
So
I'm not crossing with you.
I don't think Hitler did. I don't think Hitler got what he wanted in a way that's different than you're thinking. This is tough. I think he wanted his country to succeed. That's the motivation for everything. I think he was uninformed about the Holocaust even happening. I don't think he had a lick of information about that. There's no evidence that he did. I think he hated death. I mean, he was so there's proof, right? There's diaries and everything else that have been found that he wouldn't leave and go outside because he was so sickened by what was going on. He hated that the war was happening. He hated the situation. He couldn't stand seeing his people suffering. So it's like there's something to that. You got to if you're trying to understand why people get the way they get, you can't lie to yourself about why it's happening. This was a man that cared about people, cared about his people, and then he took that too far. I think that's important to note. He cared so much about Germany that he started losing. You know, he obviously didn't care about the Polish. He didn't care about the Jews. I mean, he was pretty open about that they were a threat to his country. But he didn't hate the Jews.
Gypsies.
Am I wrong for saying that he didn't hate the Jews because they were Jewish? He hated them because they were antagonizing his country? He thought they were, at least?
Yeah, the theory being that they were not protesting. That's the other word I'm looking for.
Boycotting.
They're boycotting German products.
Yeah, there was the international Jewish boycott of German goods.
Mm-hmm.
Which, imagine someone did that against Trump right now. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm going to make a comparison. Imagine someone boycotts American goods. How is Trump going to respond to that? Any different?
You mean internally? Because
Right.
externally that happens all the time.
Let's say that it was a group of Mexicans that start boycotting American goods. How is he going to respond
Why'd
to
you
that?
point at Noy, dude? He's Ecuadorian.
He's Mexican.
I'm not trying to dox Noy. He is.
Yeah, go find him. He's in Mexico. Good luck. Isn't there like how many states are there in Mexico? Like 30? 36?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna look it up.
You don't even know? I was
He's
actually
American, dude.
You've been there.
So I've been to Canada. I don't even know exactly how many territories there are.
31 states.
31.
Chihuahua was the best one, by the way.
Chihuahua was pretty sweet.
No, if you
But
could
next to
buy
Juarez,
any Mexican state, which one are you buying?
Like,
you could own it and you could do whatever you want in that state. Which one are you taking?
Weird question.
What's the best one? I guess that's my question. What's the best state?
Oof.
I would say Guadalajara.
Guadalajara's sick.
That's one in the middle.
Oh,
There's pyramids in Guadalajara, aren't there? I'm thinking of the wrong place.
Ew.
fish.
Yeah, that's down there a ways, huh? That's by Jalisco.
I ain't taking
Jalisco-
that one.
Jalisco's
Hell no,
nice.
dude. I'm taking Yucatan, dude.
Puerto Vallarta's nice too.
Yeah, that's a good vacation spot. So I was actually on a business trip, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now. And we were in Juarez. And I'm dead serious. Before I go on that trip, I think I went to Walmart and I was buying like just a couple things to bring with me. I don't even think I had a brief or like a travel bag or anything yet. So I went to buy all that. And I walked by the video games because I was a huge gamer at the time, still am. And there was a game called The Call of Juarez just came out. And I look at this cover and it's all about like the cartel and guns and everyone's dying. And I'm like, dude, that's where I'm headed next week. And I get there and dude, it's legit. We get to our hotel and it's like fenced off with big barbed wire fences. And
Juarez is way up towards the top, right?
yeah, it's on the border of El Paso. Right? Is that El Paso? Dude, I'm horrible at geometry.
You're also bad at geography.
What's that?
Huh? We were told, if you zoom out right there, in my youth, South Padre Island, Texas, right there at the tip, you could see it right at the tip of Texas. We were there for spring break, and I was like, dude, how cool would it be just to go down to the border? It's right there, right? There was a Hispanic guy, Mexican guy, that worked at one of the hotels. He's like, I have to drive 6 hours to get home, and I live right on the other side of the border, but I can't cross there because it's so dangerous.
Yeah, dude.
I was like, what? I wanted to go check it out. He's like, I would not do that.
At the time I was in Juarez was literally they said it was the most dangerous time to ever be there. And it was I'm dead serious. Driving through there, nobody respected the lights. Nobody. Even our driver, it was a guy from Iowa, and he was the one that had been down there before, and he's like, I'll be the one to drive. And I'm like, what are you like? I'll drive. He's like, no, dude. Like it's different down here. We get to Juarez, and I'm dead serious. There is a see your dad, there it is.
Oh, wow. It's right there at the border, huh?
Yeah. Oh, that's like the drug funnel into the U, like one of the big ones right there, and then over by Arizona. Yeah, so we get down there, and there's like an auto body shop.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably 2 or 3 of them on each block, and just everybody, dude. Like I saw 3 wrecks while I was down there, and it's nutty. Like everybody is just hauling ass, going every crazy. But my point is, I found out how many states were down there because we went to this place called Viva Mexico, and we get in there. Have you ever heard of that place? Dude, it's this big, like, it's a restaurant.
Right.
And we get in there, and you're in a big circle in an arena. And I have no idea what's going on. This was like the head of the Mexico plant took us in there and, took all of it. There's like 50 of us that show up at this place. And we're all sitting on this big, long table wrapped around this big, dirt. It's a big dirt floor. I'm like, what is going on? And the lights are like out. It's like dark in there. So we're just in there like foaming around trying to find our seats. All of a sudden the lights come on. There's just a dude in the middle of this ring with like the lasso thing. And he starts doing like the freaking dance thing. All of a sudden horses come out. And it's like a whole rodeo thing going on in the middle while we're eating. And they go through each state has like a different think all their different like skit that they did. There's like 100 people out there now. Like there's this whole show going on, and they're going through each state. Like they would change clothes, come back, and do like a different thing for each state. Wicked cool. If you're ever in Mexico, check that place out.
I'm not going to Juarez. Where I do want to go though, I don't know why we're still talking about Mexico, but no. Where's Oaxaca? I'm gonna watch him spell it, dude. He's gonna spell it wrong.
Yeah, dude, that's a crazy spelling, huh? Oaxaca.
That's where I want to go, buddy.
That's way down there.
Yeah, the reason I want to go. No, I guess why I want to go there.
What? We got.
Allegedly, my birthday is Day of the Dead,
Dia de los Muertos.
and they are. It's outside of Mexico City. They're the biggest one.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go to Mexico City because that place is dirty. It's a filth hole.
What?
But I don't go. It's just all smog and shit.
No.
But
He's not wrong.
Oaxaca, they have like an island there, I guess. It's like a cemetery island. Like they just have a huge Day of the Dead celebration, is what I was told. But
Should we tie it back into what we were saying here?
I can't remember what we're talking about.
I brought up Israel. Here we go. And then I
How the
started.
fuck did we get to Oaxaca?
We went from Israel to Oaxaca. Dude, that's a long flight. So,
Ooh, no layovers.
so we talked about World War II. We talked about Hitler. My theory
Yes.
is that the Russians, this would have been prior to is the KGB even a thing in World War II?
When did the KGB? When was the KGB created?
Is that a post World War II thing? Probably had a different name. Yeah, 54. So, why is there a photo of? Oh, never mind. That's not him. Kind of looked like President Putin there, didn't it?
Almost. It might be him actually.
Is that him when he was a kid? God, that looks like him.
Click on that one to the right. That one. No idea. Those look like Putin though. Anyways,
That's
go
his
ahead.
fucking brother. If not,
So your idea, can I guess where it's gonna go, or do you want to tell me?
go ahead and guess.
Your guess is that whatever prior to the KGB, when the USSR, effectively the USSR took over Berlin, of course the US was there and all the other allies, right? But your idea is that it wasn't completely demolished. The Russians took over the power of it and used that influence to create Israel.
Yeah, not even just that, but I think the who conducted the Holocaust. I'll go that far.
Really?
It wasn't done in Germany. A lot of people think Germany is.
No, it's mostly in Poland.
It was in Poland.
Yeah, that's where most of the death camps were, they call them.
Were there plenty of Russian military in Poland
Towards the end of the war, yes.
on those bases towards the end of the war? Exactly.
Because they pinched Germany down to that big,
Yeah.
right down to Berlin.
Yeah. So it's like how, I guess with that theory, how did Hitler conduct the Holocaust towards the end of the war when the Soviets were everywhere in Poland? Like those bases were they're probably 50%.
They're saying the Russians ordered the murders at the end of the war.
Yeah.
Mm.
So, and what I'm thinking is that they did that in cahoots.
I'm excited to see.
Well, dude, I want to see some comments
This is so
here.
nuts.
I've never heard anyone else have this theory. This is a gut. So we're gonna tie this into originally. If you listen to the news, you're misinformed. If you
Right.
don't listen to the news, you're uninformed.
And if you
The third
if
option
you agree
is-
with Kyle, you're telling the truth, and if you disagree with Kyle, you're lying.
No, the third option is you got to trust your gut. I mean, that's what we have left.
And your gut saying that
My gut is saying that Hitler didn't do it. The Russians did it with the plan to blame it on Hitler, blame it on Germany, to infiltrate
the murders,
Israel.
because the camps
Right.
existed.
Yeah,
early.
no, yeah. There's probably more than 6 million. There's probably 100 times more, but
Same people that died.
probably I don't know. I'm not minimalizing it. I'm a maximalist.
Okay, while he's doing that, no, I'm going to give you some direction here. I want you to pull up the calculator app. Actually,
It's probably
just
six.
type calc down there in the search thing and pull it up. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not
I want you to
downplaying the
do,
attack on the Jews at all.
365 times 5. And then 1825. Okay, so erase that. We'll remember 1825. And then I want you to do 6 million. So 6 with 6 zeros afterwards.
Oh,
And I want you to divide that by 1825.
I know where you're going now.
Okay. And then I want you to divide that by 24. So 137 people had to die every hour on the hour, nonstop, 365 days a year for 5 years straight to kill 6 million people.
Now, does it make sense for the Germans to be doing that while they're struggling to stay alive?
They couldn't afford the fuel. They were struggling to have enough fuel to feed their military, but they're going to waste labor and resources on killing 137 people every hour.
Yeah. So,
but saying they didn't even start killing people until like the last year and a half or two.
But this is how I know something's up, is that if you question those numbers, you're in trouble. If you question Germany's motivation to do it, you're in trouble, right? You're a Nazi, you're worse than Hitler was. But when you point at the facts, Hitler, there's no evidence that Hitler even knew it was happening, which would drive me to think, then who was doing this?
You could look at Hitler was just their Churchill. The people
Right.
rallied behind him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But and then who was running England?
Queen, dude. That's what we're getting?
Yeah, dude, there's the Queen was. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Is there a Queen of Mexico? I'm gonna tie this back in here. Was there ever a Queen of Mexico?
Queen?
Who's that?
The Virgin of Guadalupe, Empress Carlota, Charlotte of Belgium. That's not even what's going on here.
Do you know anything about this? No.
The Belgians had control of Mexico.
Nothing.
What years did you go to school in Mexico? What grades?
8th through, I want to say like sophomore year.
Okay. And you don't remember ever in school learning about...
Nothing. None of this.
That's interesting. This is totally a side point. It is not important at all, but it is interesting to me. I never heard that story either. I think the Queen of Mexico is that cartel woman that was like the scariest woman in history.
Christ.
You probably know who she is. What?
Dude, there.
Oh,
she
look
was
up
like
most like
the worst woman of all time.
yeah, honestly.
Worst woman of all time. There was a
Bunch
story.
of Candace Owens pops up.
Yeah, Jesus. We're so backward. Nope, not that one, not that one, not that one.
Really?
You'll see it. She's not even on the top 6.
Okay, look up female cartel leader. Just erase all of that. It's like a female cartel leader.
This is like in the, 70s, 80s?
Yeah, probably right around there. Female
Early
cartel
90s
leader.
maybe?
She's got to pop up.
No, that's not it. I don't know if she was a cartel leader.
I thought she was, dude. She was known. Is that her?
That might be it.
Griselda Blanco?
No, that's not it.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Let's see. Colombian?
Yeah, scroll down. Okay, so there was this lady. I thought it was Mexican, but she was like known for like.
That might be her there in that Guardian. Click on that the Queen of Cartels.
A female leader in Mexico.
Sandra Belcher. That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right either. But anyways, this lady was known where she would have sex with men, and as soon as she climaxed, she'd slit their throats.
Yeah.
Because she was done with them.
Nuts, dude.
I don't know if it was her.
That might be her. I don't know.
Murder.
How are we back to Mexico again?
I
Quit doing
fucking
that.
love the country, dude. It's not
I do
bad.
too. I miss old school Mexico. Like the Mexico I read about.
Listen, I think this is a perfect segue here, dude. I'll take a piss break, then we'll come back, and we'll jump back into what you were talking about.
All right, we'll
fair?
be back, guys.
Okay.
We're
All
back.
right, back on topic here.
Where was
I'll
I?
let you- I'll
Where
let you-
was I?
I'll let you take off, dude. Your whole
I was
idea
gonna finish
here-
my theory
Yeah.
that I don't know if I've ever heard anybody have this theory. No, you said something the other day. I think I was talking about it. This thing is rough. Hold on. So my theory is the Russians, not the Russians at the time, it had been the Soviet Union, right? Who knows which little sketchy little cult was going on in there. They conducted the Holocaust or some form of it while they were in cahoots with Ben-Gurion in Israel, who was in Germany at the time selecting which Jews he wanted to take.
Yep.
Which is a weird fact. Like, why would you not take everybody and get them out of there? He had the opportunity to take everyone out of concentration camps, and he didn't do it. He just chose a select few that were diehard and willing to give their life for the country, is what he made them say. Mm-hmm. And so Ben-Gurion, in my theory, this thing is not going well, huh? There we go. We're in. We're live. So my theory, Ben-Gurion was in on it from the get-go. The process of getting that nation settled was way more difficult than they thought. It was going way too slow. They needed something to happen. So
they pretty much staged the Holocaust to allow for them to take ownership of the land that they wanted.
I think they instigated World War II.
Ooh.
I think that's how far back it goes.
They put Hitler into power.
I think so. They chose the right guy.
That's fun.
They chose the Tyler Crooks, or what was his name? Tyler Crooks? Travis Crooks?
It's Tyler Robinson and something Crooks.
Thomas Crooks.
They
chose their
old
Thomas
Tommy Crooks, dude.
Yeah. Because you got, I mean, the whole Hitler thing, you got the burning of the Reichstag building. They blamed it on this guy with a mental disability. There's a bunch of weird shit that happened before Hitler got elected. But so my theory is he was in on it. Him and Stalin were buddies, right? They had a plan. The plan went swimmingly. And I don't know if Hitler was fully aware of what they were doing.
Ooh, maybe Ben-Gurion told him to invade the USSR. Then he goes back to the USSR and says he did exactly what I told you he was going to do.
Yeah. I would not be shocked. No. The reason I don't believe the story is because that it's the main story.
That's fair.
So I think there's something else to it. Does that mean Hitler's completely innocent? No, absolutely not. Do I think the Russians were more involved than history says? Yes. Do I think most of the Jews in Israel are Russian? Yes. Pull that up, Noah. Maybe I'm wrong there. How many Jews moved from Russia or the Soviet Union to Israel in the 1940s?
Moved 50s. To Israel after World War II.
1948, I think, was the big influx, wasn't it?
700,000 to 900,000 Jews from 1948 to 1950s.
Now, from the Soviet Union.
From USSR.
Yeah.
$164,000 to 168,000.
Okay. Over 1 million between 1990 and 2000. So
that's 10% of their population.
Right.
Obviously, not all of them are alive. Probably hardly any of them are alive, really. But
so now my question is, what percentage of the country is the Likud party or voted for the Likud party?
What percentage of Israel is Likud?
L-U-K. I think it's L-U.
Percentage.
U-K-U-D or something like that.
Of Israel. Is L.
U. No, it's just the letter L. There you go. L-U or L-E-K-U-D. Is that good?
Yeah, I looked that up. It'll probably correct you.
I don't know how to spell that. L-I-K-U-D. 24%. So the numbers aren't dead on there then. But my theory would be...
just start making numbers of it. It doesn't match your conspiracy to start making numbers of it.
No.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't even know if it has to match. But it's like, I think a big portion of that Likud party is probably the same Russians that moved there, or their kids, their grandkids, their cousins, whatever it is. And I think that the KGB is now the current Mossad. I guess that's the end point of the whole thing.
So the Mossad is just an offshoot of the KGB.
Absolutely.
You had him in the wrong ear, didn't you?
No, I don't like how it unsnaps. But so take that with a grain of salt. I'm probably 30% confident on that, which is really high actually for how my theories go. But so the Mossad is the KGB. They're more friends with Russia and the Soviet Union at the time, Russia now, than they are with us.
Okay.
So, which means that Israel is used as a medium for Russian control of the United States.
You know what I find hilarious about all of this?
What's that?
How we started this podcast by saying how pro-America and America first we are, and we've spent this entire time talking about international.
Well, no, it's completely relevant because I think right now the biggest reason that our president is not America first and a lot of these Zionists aren't America first is because they're victims of this psyop. I mean, pull up that video of Trump being the number one.
You don't have proof of Trump agreeing that he's the first Jewish president.
Yeah, go ahead and rewind that, Noy.
Uh-oh, they're not playing properly. Now, if you close out of that, Noy, and just open up another tab.
We got tech issues or what?
I think it's just internet issues, really.
Not good.
Potentially. Yeah, Trump first Jewish president.
I mean, because right now it's like everything you hear is Israel this, Israel that.
Yeah, click on that one, then go to where that one guy shows up. No, I don't hear it at all.
Yeah, it's not playing. I guess my point is all that you hear about nowadays, and this has been my line of thinking for probably 5 years, is that Israel's kind of a weapon that's used against us. But everyone in the States thinks Israel is like our best friend and they're our ally, and it's like, but nobody can give me one example of something they've ever done to help us.
Try that one out.
So it's like if someone's your best friend and you can't tell me why. Oh, here you go.
So go up to where he walks up. This will be perfect. Go from there. A little more volume there.
And these people do like Israel. Hold on.
You're good. You've done all that.
And he loves Israel too.
It's true. It's true.
2 seconds. Just 2 seconds. 6 years ago, I was up here, and I said, "This is our first Jewish president."
It's true.
Now
That's
he's
true,
the
he
first
said.
Jewish president to serve two not consecutive presidencies. We thank you
Mark
for
Levin
everything.
is drunk
Some
right there.
bad things happened on the second one. Namely, the election was rigged.
He loves bringing that up.
And we
Can you
found
pause
out-
that? Because honestly, I don't care about that part. 2 things I want to bring up here. One is a quiz for you. Who was the other president that served non-consecutively? There's only been 2.
I don't know.
Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland. What
And
did he ever do?
he won 2 non-consecutive terms. So you brought up the fact that Mark Levin seems as though he's intoxicated there.
Yeah.
My principal from my high school,
What's Mark Levin?
he stepped down, but he was basically fired for giving our graduation commencement speech drunk.
Nice.
Anyways,
Some people need the confidence.
Yeah. Anyways, he had it. He had a lot of it.
So, what else do you need to see?
I was going to say his name, but I'll leave him alone.
I think. I
Got
think.
enough going on.
I think most common
10
Americans
years
can
ago.
see that and be like, "How is that America first?"
Right. I completely agree
Did
with
they
you.
mention the United States once?
No. So, well, yeah, the president and stuff. That's kind of referencing.
First Jewish president. I guess Jews doesn't mean Israel, right? That's a big mistake people make.
No, but he's just making a joke and he's playing along with it and he's being nice about it. But I don't agree with the fact that we can just blindly just be friends with Israel. It's like, okay, what have they done for us? That's my question. What have they done for us? And I end that with a question mark.
Yeah, nothing.
Right.
Yeah, they've lied to us a bunch.
Right.
So, and that was the thing. The Cold War. A lot of people don't understand what was going on during the Cold War. What our intelligence agencies were doing during the Cold War. We were interviewing Jews that had moved to Israel from Russia, from the Soviet Union.
Right.
So we were interviewing them to find out what their military was up to, what their government was up to, what the society was up to, and everything they said was a lie. And during that time, we were trading secrets with Israel. So we gave them the secrets to build nuclear warheads. In return, they gave us lies that were unaction. There's no action that could be taken on what they were telling us. And from there, now it's proven through an interview with a CIA guy that they do have nukes and they've threatened to use them. And they've threatened to use them unless Trump bombed Iran. And he did it. So who is in control of our military?
Right. They can be that easily influenced by another country's wishes. Are we truly in control of our own military?
So there's your America first. We're Israel first now as a nation, which is so weird.
And I don't want to bring this one up because Noah's from Argentina here, but I don't like the fact that we're giving $40 billion to Argentina. Why? Why are we giving a penny to any other country? Unless we're getting an ROI, why are we giving any money? $40 billion to Argentina, Noy. Google that for me, papi. Billion.
To Argentina.
The U.S. providing $40 billion in aid to Argentina. No, it says. Don't prove me wrong. $20 billion comes from the U.S. government funds. $20 billion is currency swap between the U.S. Treasury and Argentina. Okay, $20 billion. Why?
Does it even say what it's for? Just aid.
Right. So $20 billion we're doing a currency swap. It's probably just to help Argentina's banks. Like we give them $20 billion US dollars, and that's going to help keep their economy afloat because most countries, at least in this hemisphere, use the US dollar to kind of keep their economies afloat. It's kind of how the Western Hemisphere works.
But to your point, like what's the ROI here? What do we?
We get to keep their president in power. That's kind of the hope.
Yeah, that's probably right.
That's kind of the hope.
So
They gave us Messi though. We made a lot of money off Messi playing for Miami.
Lionel Messi's from Argentina?
Yeah.
He's
Come on,
badass.
dude. You're such a fraud, dude. You're such a fraud when it comes to sports. How do you not know that?
I just pretend not to know. It makes it more exciting. You know, it's like you're learning something for the first time again.
So you just act like you don't know?
Yeah, like what?
Yeah. That's why Noy is such a big fan of Canelo, dude.
Dude, I love that Ronaldo, Messi, like, ooh, which one's the best? You know,
Yeah, it's funny because it's obviously Ronaldo and everyone argues for Messi.
he's the underdog for sure.
Messi? Or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Think so? It's kind of
You
weird.
just contradicted what you said.
I think Ronaldo's the best.
Then why would you be shocked by saying
I was
that
wondering
the
who you
guy's the
thought, I
underdog?
was just wondering who you said the underdog was.
Oh, Messi.
Is he short?
Yeah, they're definitely totally different builds.
Might even be different positions.
I wonder who's fast. I bet Ronaldo's even faster too. I mean, Messi's quick though. They're
No,
both
speak up. One's from
insane
Portugal
athletes.
and one's from Argentina. So you have no horse in this race. Who's the best? Who's the best football player?
Best football. It depends, like, on what you're talking about.
Who's better between Ronaldo and Messi overall?
I think Messi.
really in a one-on-one on a miniature field, like an indoor. They did an indoor league. I bet Ronaldo walks all over him.
No, 1-on-1, I think Ronaldo wins.
Yeah, I think so too. They're just different players though.
Because Messi,
But Messi has a
It's
history
a team
of,
sport that's
Yeah.
tough to.
but like every team that Messi's on wins. Not every team that Ronaldo's on wins.
yeah, you can be a good player on a bad team though.
Yeah. Well, he was, but didn't
Or
he
you can be
play
a good
for like?
leader,
didn't
I
he
guess
play-
there's that
didn't he play for
argument.
Barcelona.
he was.
Barcelona.
Barcelona was like
That was like the
unreal, right? When he was
Yeah.
there.
Barcelona was dope.
with Neymar, Suarez.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, Neymar is also kind of garbage. Let's be honest.
Neymar?
Yeah.
I think he's good.
I think the best soccer player in the world right now is Mbappe.
Yeah, he's out there for sure.
Mbappe.
What was that guy?
He's pacey, dude. He's pacey.
Quick.
What was that OG soccer player? He was like the best in the world
Pele?
forever. Pele. And he was
Really?
interviewed. He's like, "Do you think
Where's he from?
Brazil.
Brazil?
He's
Yeah,
from Brazil.
God, Brazil makes some good ones. Huh?
dude. He was in an interview, and the guy asked him, he's like, "Do you think there'll ever be another Pele?" And he's like, "Nah, my mom and dad shut down the
You know what?
factory long ago." There you go.
Oh,
buddy.
yeah.
Hey, don't steal my move. Yeah, so I don't know. I think this podcast is more America first, right? We're just talking. I think right now we're not America first. I don't think most people are America first. We don't even care about our neighbors like we should. I mean, we're so
No.
far removed from what we need to be doing. It's,
Yeah,
we're in trouble.
Everyone's like, "Oh, I'm Democrat first, or I'm Republican
Yeah.
first." It was actually something that George Washington warned about. George Washington didn't like political parties because they were divisive and it would separate people. So he really warned against political parties.
Yeah.
So it is worth thinking about. God, dude, people do not give that man the credit he deserves, man.
But what I think is really going on now, though.
George Washington's a goat. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah. No, those guys were wise beyond their years.
George Washington like above everybody else. So he was a stud.
Yeah. But what I think is really contributing to this Operation Mockingbird is all this social media
Oh yeah, it's so easy to
algorithms,
manipulate.
dude. Well, it's just the algorithms. Like everybody, I saw. I don't know. I don't remember what I was watching. Probably something on Instagram, but this guy was talking about how you only see the worst of the other party. Like the algorithm will figure out which party you're in.
Yep.
And will show you the worst of the other party because they know you're interested.
And I can actually prove that true. It's really interesting that you bring that up. So if I go on Instagram, it is almost all like the left is dumb, like all these things, right? Because I definitely follow it.
Yeah.
I follow the right more than I follow the left. And then on Facebook, I don't follow anything political except for one Facebook group that's called Trump Jail Tracker because I think it's hilarious, the stuff that they post.
So it
right?
thinks you're.
So it thinks I'm really
Democrat.
left wing.
That's
So it
funny.
feeds me anti right wing stuff all the time.
So that's probably the best position to be in, though, seeing both sides.
Dude, it's so funny. It's like, dude, this is ridiculous how targeted this is.
Yeah.
Because they just assume that because I've commented on like 2 or 3 posts on that jail tracker page. And dude, I hope that somebody sees this and they ban me from that because I think it'd be hilarious because it just prove my point that, you know, you have to be part of the party to be, you know, be part of our group to be whatever. Dude, I go on there, oh, dude, I'll just like throw little jabs out there and people bite every single time. And it's always some dumb boomer broad that's just like,
You're just on there trolling. Huh?
dude, I just throw jabs out there all the time. I throw jabs. No, if
Did
you
I make
knew,
it?
I don't
I'm in
know.
a trash can over there.
If you knew my history on Instagram with just trolling and just fuck with people, it's like I had one recently that was so good.
You gotta pack your pouches, dude.
Right.
That's key.
Yeah.
Shout out Alp, by the way.
Alp. Do you use Alp?
In my mouth. Yeah, it's not a Zen.
Really?
Have you heard of Zen? I know you've heard of Zen.
I never used a Zen because I heard you had to put them in your butt, and I'm not interested.
Yeah, this is a pouch for your mouth.
That's what. Oh, so those ones actually.
Yeah, it goes in your mouth. It's an adult lip.
I can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can't get behind the ones that go in your butt.
Yeah, it's just not. A lot of colon cancer going on. I'm not blaming that on Zen at all, but I don't want to risk it. So
It's crazy that there's so many people that use Zens too, and you can't even catch them. Like they'll be like in school, probably like little kids in school. It's like, how do you catch them? They're not in their mouth.
Well,
you can't check a little boy's butt.
Well, and they're not responsible. They forget how many are in there, and it's like it can be. I don't want to go into that, but yeah, I'd rather use a pouch for your mouth. That's why we use Alp here. So,
Damn. It's nice that a brand like that exists.
And guess where this is made? Guess what country?
India.
It's a weird guess. No, it's United States, buddy.
Distributed by Outco. Wilmington, Delaware. Designed in the United States, assembled in India.
Shout out Tucker Carlson.
Shout out India.
Stay safe, my friend. That guy tells the truth too much. It's not safe.
Yeah, but I don't think he cares. Like, he cares about telling the truth, but doesn't care if he gets him killed.
I think we talk about Charlie Kirk on the next episode, buddy.
Oh, we can dig in deep into that one.
I think what I was talking about will tie in real nicely to that one.
What do you think, Noy? Big Charlie Kirk guy?
I should know interest.
You just like the memes,
I
dude.
like the memes. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't know who he was until I saw
Noy sent
some
me about
shorts.
175 Charlie Kirk memes.
That's
Where
all
his-
on my feed.
Where his face is superimposed
Oh, Jesus.
on like LeBron James's face and stuff.
The AI ones.
I get a lot from Noy.
Dude, that guy was good though. Like I saw some of his little interviews with students.
Yeah.
I've never heard of him until a few years ago.
Yeah, he's sharp. I always liked him. But yeah, I think next episode we probably delve deeper into like current American politics, and we can even go into stuff like Charlie Kirk, Ben Shapiro, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
But I think, probably closing in on an hour and a half or so on this one right now. So definitely fun, dude. I love talking about little conspiracy theories. I like your one about Russia and Israel and whatnot. But I think next time maybe we get a deep dive and say some stuff that we truly feel about what's going on in our current media and current influencer market out there, and which ones I think some of them might not even be independent. I think some of them might be a little funded by some of the dollars that we're paying every year around April. I think they get some of our April dollars.
April dollars.
April dollars bring
More followers.
Hey,
May followers.
something like that. What do you think, Noy? Good?
Good.
Think we got our message across? Did we go on enough tangents here to lose about 80% of the people about halfway through? I hope so.
Yeah, we'll reel it in. Yeah, I threw one crazy conspiracy out there. I think the next time we'll go recent, and I'll make some predictions.
Yeah.
That'll be my role. I'll make some predictions of what you'll see in the next few months.
And then we'll keep a little dry erase board behind the table here. We'll keep track of your predictions, and we'll put a mark for every time you're right or wrong.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That'd be a lot of fun.
And I will cheer loudly every time I'm wrong because that means we're heading in the right direction.
And if we can get some people on here, I think this is something we really need to push. Is I want not necessarily engagement. Obviously, growth is cool. You know, it'd be cool for this thing to become something that a lot of people watch. But just anybody that watches this, leave a comment on your opinion on stuff.
Yeah.
Leave a comment on questions that you might have, our opinions on certain things, and I'd love to kind of touch base on those.
Yeah. First, the first comment that we get, we got to give them something.
I'll send them an help.
We'll send you a can of Alp, get you addicted to something.
As long as you're 21 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll figure something out. But I think this will be a lot of fun. Let's talk about some more stuff. Let's get, dive a little deeper next time. Get maybe some different beers. These ones are delicious here, but I think each time let's try to get something a little different going.
Heck yeah.
I think. Sound good,
All right.
Noy?
Love you guys.
Sound
God
good.
bless.
All right, brother. We're signing off
Catch
on
you in the
this
next
one.
episode.
Heck yeah.